Howdy howdy Poke folks, I'm Andrew, and today we're talking about Shadow Pokemon. Many of you having played Pokemon Go in the last few years are probably somewhat familiar with Shadow Pokemon. But did you know that the origin of these shady Pokemon might actually go much deeper, and they may have an ongoing hidden connection between the movies, games, TCG, and the anime? So let's get right into it. Being a child of the 90s and having grown up with the Pokemon craze, I remember the first time in 2000 at the turn of the century when the Rocket series of Pokemon TCG hit the market. There I was, hanging out at my buddy Jonathan's house, when out comes a fresh pack of Rocket, and guess what he pulled out of it? A Dark Charizard. There it was, the pinnacle of cool at the time, not just a Charizard, but a Dark Charizard. For my young mind, this opened 1,000 doors of questions, just wondering how does one go about changing a Charizard into a Dark Charizard? What's the process? And that would be a question. That is until 2002, when the fourth Pokemon movie hit the shelves. Again, hanging out with my buddy Jonathan, I sat back and watched as Ash and friends helped Celebi keep away from the evil Pokemon poachers. And there, right in the beginning, they threw me a bone. A character by the name of the Masked Marauder, a prominent member of the notorious Team Rocket. He steals the screen when he produces an all-new Pokeball, the Dark Ball, a darkly colored Pokeball with rings running alongside it. He quickly uses this to catch a Tyranitar, which after being caught goes from a timid-natured being to an angry and violent Pokemon. The Dark Ball literally changed the nature and demeanor of this Pokemon. Looking back, I'm not really sure if I made the realization that the two were connected. I was and continue to be on occasion a little bit stupid. And looking back now, 20 some odd years later, I still have so many questions about Shadow Pokemon. So let's see if we can connect some of the very loose dots. We touched on Dark Pokemon originating in the Rocket series of the TCG, as well as the Dark Ball, and let's call it the Dark Tyranitar from the fourth film Celebi Forever. Our next clue didn't come to us for another 2 years until 2004, with the release of Pokemon Colosseum on the Nintendo GameCube. With this game, we're introduced to what the game calls Shadow Pokemon. Much like Dark Pokemon, Shadow Pokemon can be stolen and have their hearts sealed shut, but through efforts, as can be seen in both Colosseum and Celebi Forever, the Pokemon can be purified of the Shadow state. The group responsible for this in the Ore region, which is the location that Gale of Darkness and Colosseum take place, is known as Team Cypher, a group that's created the technology to steal and shadowfy Pokemon. Two members of Team Cypher include Ian and Laverina. These two are responsible for the tech that makes Shadow Pokemon and Pokemon snagging possible, though it goes mostly unexplained throughout the game. So here comes some fan theory. I think Team Cypher, with the help of Team Rocket, found and took control of some kind of great power, or at least found this great power, right? And then found a way to replicate it, and this power allowed them to take control of Pokemon and change their nature. And if we look at other Pokemon-altering powers in the universe of Pokemon, I think we can get closer to the bottom of it. So let's start with two of the most recent Pokemon games, Sword and Shield, and Legends Arceus. In both of these, we can see examples of Pokemon-altering powers. In Sword and Shield, we see the Dynamax phenomenon, in which affected Pokemon are transformed to gigantic size, some changing their form entirely. And what causes this? Well, the legendary Pokemon Eternatus. Another example in Legends Arceus, the boss Pokemon you fight have been imbued with a powerful yellow aura, and in this case are raging out of control. Sounds kind of similar to Shadow Pokemon. So what was the cause of this? Well, it was the legendary Pokemon Arceus. Like many of the abilities we've seen introduced throughout the last several generations of games, they are all accompanied by a legendary Pokemon that they draw power from, or vice versa. So what legendary Pokemon causes Shadow Pokemon? Also, I think it's important to note that in both Pokemon Colosseum and Gale of Darkness, we can see examples of Shadow legendary Pokemon, with the most notable one being Shadow Lugia. So what legendary can do all of this? The answer to this question comes unanswered for 10 years, until again with the release of another Pokemon movie, this time, Hoopa and the Clash of the Ages. In this film, we learn the story of Hoopa, a fun-loving Pokemon who can teleport between locations using his mirrors. But as the story goes on, we find out Hoopa has a dark past. The Hoopa we see before us is an altered version. The original Hoopa was far too powerful and got lost in its boastful ways, teleporting legendary Pokemon for it to fight and show off its strength. It not only shows it can teleport legendary Pokemon wherever it so chooses, but also control them. When the evil Hoopa breaks out, we can see examples of it taking over control of both people and Pokemon. Every time they assume red-eyed state with a shadow aura, very similar to the state that Shadow Lugia takes in Gale of Darkness. And another interesting fact, when the good Hoopa is trying to help in the movie, What's the first Pokemon he teleports in to help? Lugia. It would kind of make sense if Lugia had been Shadowfied in the past and knew Hoopa. So what if Team Rocket and Team Cypher had somehow come together and found Hoopa, and then found a way of replicating the jar that was used to control it, as well as the power that Dark Hoopa emanated? Anyway, guys, what do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments, give that like and subscribe button a click. Part 2 is coming soon. We're going to deep dive on Hoopa and the whole Shadow Pokemon phenomenon.